How do rich families turn $100 into $1,000,000? Most people picture some secret deal, a lucky stock pick, a crypto moonshot, a perfect moment in the market. But the real answer is way less exciting, and that's exactly why it works. Because the most reliable $1,000,000 trick isn't a trick at all. It's time. It's boring. It's consistent, and it's available to almost everyone. But almost nobody sticks with it long enough to see it happen. Today, I'm going to show you how $100 a month can grow into roughly $1,000,000 by retirement using index fund investing and the long-term historical return of the S&P 500. Not overnight, not in a year, but over a lifetime. And by the end, you're going to understand something most people never fully feel in their bones. Starting early is a financial superpower, and waiting is more expensive than you think. Quick note, this is educational and simplified. Real returns vary, taxes exist, inflation exists, and your situation is unique. But the core idea, compound growth over time, has built more wealth than any hack ever will. Let's start with the story everyone tells themselves. You're 18 years old. You're not rich. You might not even feel like an adult. You're thinking about friends, school, your first job, your first apartment, maybe your first car that somehow always has a check engine light. And someone says, hey, if you invest $100 a month starting now, you could retire with $1,000,000. Most people hear that and immediately reject it because $100 a month doesn't feel powerful. It feels small. It feels like one dinner out with friends. It feels like a new video game. It feels like a phone bill. And that's the trap. Because in the beginning, investing doesn't look like progress. It looks like nothing is happening. The first month you invest $100, you'll check your account and see $100. Maybe $101, maybe $98. Not exactly life-changing. The second month, $200. Third month, $300. And you start thinking, this is pointless. I'm never getting anywhere. That moment right there, the moment when it feels pointless, is the moment most people quit. Not because the math is wrong, because the psychology is hard. Compound interest is the most unfair advantage on earth, but it's unfair in a weird way. It rewards patience more than effort. It rewards consistency more than talent, and it punishes impatience more than mistakes. So let's talk about what the rich do differently. The rich don't have better willpower. They don't have superior intelligence. They're not magically immune to fear. What they have is a system and a time horizon. They start earlier, they automate, and they stay invested through the messy parts. They treat investing like brushing their teeth, not something you do when you feel like it, something you do because it's part of the routine. And most importantly, they don't try to beat the market. They buy the market. That's what an index fund does.
An index fund is basically a basket that holds a whole bunch of companies at once. And when we talk about the S&P 500, we're talking about a collection of around 500 of the largest publicly traded companies in America. Companies you already know, companies that sell the products you already buy, companies that power huge chunks of the economy. When you buy a low-cost S&P 500 index fund, you're not betting your future on one company. You're betting on American business continuing to grow over time. And historically, that's been a strong bet. Over long periods, the S&P 500 has averaged around 10% per year before inflation. That number won't happen every year. Some years will be way higher. Some years will be brutal. But across decades, the long-term trend has mattered more than the short-term chaos. Now, here's where the story gets surprising. If you invest just $100 per month from age 18 until age 65, and you average 10% per year, you're in the neighborhood of $1,000,000 by retirement. That's not a maybe if you get lucky scenario. That's the power of time doing the heavy lifting. But to really feel why this is so powerful, we have to look at what's actually happening under the hood. Because most people think investing is about how much money you put in. It's not. It's about how long your money has to multiply. At the beginning, your contributions matter most. Later on, the growth matters most. And there's a point, this is the part that messes with your brain, where the account starts growing more in a year than you contribute in a year. That's when it starts to feel like magic. But it's not magic, it's momentum. It's the snowball finally getting big enough to roll on its own. Think of it like pushing a car. At first, it's painfully slow. You're sweating, you're straining, you're thinking, this isn't moving. But if you keep pushing, Eventually, it starts to roll. And once it's rolling, it takes less effort to keep it moving than it took to start it. Compound growth is the car rolling downhill. The earlier you start pushing, the longer you have gravity on your side. Now let's add tension, because we need to talk about the part nobody likes to talk about. Investing isn't just math, it's emotional warfare. The market will test you. At some point, you will have a year where your account drops, not grows slower, drops. And it won't be a gentle drop. It might feel like you're watching months or years of effort evaporate, and your brain will scream, "Get out, save what you have left." That's the moment where people lock in failure. They sell when prices are down. They stop contributing. They swear off investing. They sit in cash until things feel safe again. And then, months later, the market rebounds without them. That single pattern, panic out, miss the rebound, has destroyed more retirement dreams than low income ever did. The rich know something here that most people learn too late. Market drops aren't just pain. They're the price of admission. You don't get the long-term return without surviving the short-term volatility. And if you're investing for retirement, volatility isn't the enemy. Volatility is the engine. Because when prices drop, your monthly contribution buys more shares. You're buying the market on sale. And the people who keep buying through the downturns are the ones who end up with the biggest results when the recovery happens.
So, let's go back to the numbers, because the numbers reveal a truth that's almost uncomfortable. We already said $100 a month starting at 18 can get you near $1 million by 65, assuming 10% average annual returns. But what if you don't start at 18? What if you start at 30? You're still early compared to a lot of people. You've got time, you're trying, and you can absolutely build wealth. But the monthly amount you need goes up. To reach around $1 million by age 65 starting at 30, you'd need about $310 per month at the same 10% assumption. That's more than triple the monthly contribution just because you started 12 years later. That's not a small difference. That's time charging interest against you. And it gets more intense. If you wait until 40, the monthly number jumps again. To reach around $1 million by 65 starting at 40, you need about $850 per month. And this is where people start to feel sick to their stomach. Because now the goal feels impossible. Now it feels like, well, I guess that's not for me. And here's the crucial message. That reaction is exactly why starting early matters. Not because people are lazy, not because they don't care. Because life gets heavier. At 18, you might be broke, but your responsibilities are lighter. At 30, you might have a career, but you might also have rent, debt, kids, a mortgage, a car payment, rising bills, and you're trying to keep your head above water. At 40, you're often juggling even more. Family obligations, peak expenses, maybe helping parents, maybe dealing with health stuff, maybe catching up from earlier years. Time is the one thing you can't buy more of. So the rich, whether they're intentional or not, benefit from the simple fact that they start earlier and stay consistent longer. But here's the best part. You can start whenever you are right now. You're not too late to improve your future. You're only too late to benefit from time you already spent. So we're not going to use these numbers to shame anyone. We're going to use them to wake people up. Because there's a deeper truth under all of this. Your first dollars are the most valuable dollars you will ever invest. Not because they're bigger, because they have the longest runway. A dollar invested at 18 has decades to compound. A dollar invested at 40 has much less time. So if you're young and you're hearing this, understand what you're holding. You are holding a cheat code. And the cheat code is not a secret stock tip. The cheat code is not hustle harder. It's not buy real estate at the perfect time. It's starting now, even if it's small, and letting time do the heavy lifting. And if you're older and you're hearing this, don't tune out, because there's another truth. A later start still beats no start. If you don't have $1 million by retirement, having $300,000 is still life-changing compared to having zero. Having $700,000 is still life-changing. Progress is still progress, and your future self will not be mad that you started. They'll be mad if you didn't. Now let's talk about where people get this wrong, even when they know the math. Because information isn't the problem anymore. Everybody has heard invest early. Everybody has seen the charts. The problem is implementation.
So here's how wealthy people actually make this real. They automate it. They don't rely on motivation. They don't wake up every month and decide whether they feel like investing. They set up automatic contributions into a retirement account or brokerage account, and they make it happen before the money gets spent. That's the secret. Not in what they buy, in when the money leaves their checking account. Because if you wait to see what's left at the end of the month, you're investing your leftovers, and leftovers are unpredictable. Wealth is built when you invest first. And this is where retirement accounts come in. If your job offers a 401k, especially with a match, that match is one of the closest things to free money that exists in personal finance. If you have access to a Roth IRA, that can be an incredible tool too, because qualified withdrawals in retirement can be tax-free. And if you don't have those options right now, you can still invest in a regular brokerage account. The point isn't the perfect account. The point is the habit. The point is getting money into productive assets instead of letting it sit and slowly lose purchasing power. Because yes, if you just stash cash in a bank account long term, it doesn't stay the same. Inflation quietly eats it. Your money buys less over time. So doing nothing isn't neutral. Doing nothing is a decision. Now, I want to pull you into a real emotional moment that happens to almost everyone. Imagine you've been investing for a few years. You've been consistent. You're proud of yourself. And then the market crashes. Your account drops hard, and you feel stupid. Not because you did something reckless, but because your brain equates down with wrong. You start thinking, maybe I should stop, maybe I should wait, maybe I should pull it out until things calm down. This is the fork in the road. If you stop, you lock in the setback. If you keep going, you're buying the future at a discount. And the people who become wealthy are usually not the ones who never faced this moment. They're the ones who faced it and kept going anyway. That's why index fund investing is so powerful for regular people. It doesn't require you to predict anything. You don't need to know what interest rates will do next month. You don't need to guess which company will win. You're not placing one big bet. You're placing 1,000 small bets over decades. And the longer you stay in the game, the more the odds tilt in your favor. Now, let's land this plane with something practical, because I want you to leave this with a plan, not just inspiration. Here's the simple framework. Step 1, pick a number you can actually do consistently. If you're 18 and you can do $100 per month, that's powerful. If you're 30 and you can do $310 per month, that's powerful. If you're 40 and you can't do $850 per month today, do what you can, $200, $300, $500, and increase it over time. The first goal is consistency. Step 2, automate it. Make it happen without needing your willpower. Step 3, invest in a low-cost, diversified index fund. Not because it's exciting, because it's reliable. Step 4, ignore the noise. Don't watch financial doom headlines like they're a weather forecast for your future. The market will have storms. That's normal. Your job is to keep showing up. And step 5, increase your contributions as your income grows. Most people never get rich on the first number they start with. They get rich because they start with something and then scale it up over time. And now, here's the line I want you to remember. This is the entire philosophy in one sentence. It's not about getting rich fast. It's about getting rich for sure.